at that. So all we're asking for is to allow them to be able to help us with grant writing. And that's pretty much the implementation, possibly down to the project management as we start seeing grants come.
And council, this is going to limit us to any one particular grant. We've got some other things in the works for people working on us with grants, so it doesn't limit us to those exclusively. So, any other questions, council? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, moving on to item J. Discuss and consider resolution number 2022-0902, supporting and participating in the floodplains for the state of Texas, providing a priority list of drainage projects for the city of Pearsall and surrounding areas, and to seek funding for those projects through the Texas Flood Infrastructure Fund and other funding sources offered by the state of Texas. I need a motion and a second. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Councilman Gondeta. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Talamantes. City Manager, you have the floor.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the Nueces River Authority, they are helping with the regional plan for the state plan. The governor, through the governor's office, they created back in 2019 a flood plan for the state of Texas, and every region is required to present a plan. And so what the Nueces River Authority is responsible for is helping prepare the plan for this region. You can see that on page 29 is what kind of gives you a summary of how this was created. And I believe we're ahead of the curve because we do have projects identified, and we're looking to see how we can receive some funding for these projects. So the state of Texas issued $3.3 billion and allows us to participate in seeking grants and or low interest loans for specific projects. The 10 projects that you have that are attached are Exhibit A there, which is basically our drainage improvement priority list. And that priority list is 1 to 10, with 1 being the most important, 10 being not to say the least, but it is something that was further down on the totem pole, if you will. So what we're asking for is Nueces River Authority asked us to come up with a priority list. This is our priority list. We've spoken to several entities, we've spoken to TxDOT. I did speak to the police chief, the public works director. We've also spoken to the county, and we believe the first 2 projects that are outlined there will be beneficial to the city and the county. The other projects, and again, there's from our standpoint, they're all important. And the complaint factors we get from, we get them all the time. From Chaparral and Roosevelt to, just go down that list and those are all a lot of the complaints. So anyway, that's the priority list, and what we're asking is approval of the resolution with the noted priority list of 1 to 10.
And as we kind of indicated, we discussed this with the county, and working in conjunction with the county on these gives us much more favorability to getting approval for some of these grants. So that being said, we have a motion and a second. Having no other questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passed. Any nays? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you guys very much. All right, item 7L, discussion. This is not an action item, but a discussion regarding the bylaws for the Youth Advisory Council. City Manager, you go.
You skipped K, Mayor.
I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna want something down.
You skipped K.
Did I skip one?
Oh, yes, you did, Mayor. I'm sorry. The
Okay,
budget amendment.
let's go. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I better go in order. Forgive me. Skip item K, discuss and consider ordinance number 2022-0904, amending and adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2021. These items will discuss. I need a motion and a second. A motion by Councilwoman Gondeta. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. City Manager, you have the floor.
Yes, Mayor and Council, these budget amendments you'll begin on page 32. Budget, it's Exhibit A, B, and C. You see the supporting memo on page 32, and that basically the memos are written for the budget amendment is for purchase of shields for the police department, firearms. Is also included on there for another, I think, $13,000, $13,200. And then the last exhibit is for payment of attorney's fees for the STEC litigation. That's a bigger amount of 141,672. We've tried, or at least I've tried to find a way to make the legal fees go away, but I don't think they're gonna go away. So those are the 3 budget amendments we're asking for your approval.
We have a motion and a second. You guys understand what we did for the shields and the guns. We've talked about that. We've got those in play. They're on their way. So with that, I'll go ahead and call for a budget for an approval for item 7K. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Now we'll go on to 7L. This is a discussion regarding the bylaws for the Youth Advisory Council. This is not an action item. It's from the floor with the city manager.
Mayor, Council, the reason these weren't an action item simply because we wanted the council to review them. We talked about a youth advisory group, I think, some months back. This is just a draft of bylaws. Assuming the council's okay, and what we're asking for, not tonight, but maybe here in the next week or two, is any proposed revisions to these bylaws. And if there's issues with the selection process, or how, you may have some better ideas as to how this youth group is, started, right? We'd like to hear that. And in the meantime, we're also looking for a city staff / city council liaison. I think that's included in the bylaws. And so anybody that would like to volunteer, we'd love to have you volunteer. But if you can't, we understand. But anyway, those are the bylaws, and we'd like to bring it back to you either in October or November, get approval, and then approach the school district and get with the superintendent to see how we can kick this thing off, get it going.
Council, the way that says, it's staff, and I'm certainly willing to be a liaison, and so if that's okay with the council, we write that in at that point. But anyway, I commend Fred on doing that. It's what some of the cities are doing to try to get the young people involved in some leadership and kind of directing their own future, so it's a good thing. All right, thank you, Fred, for bringing that to the table. All right, we've already done 7M. Now we're going on to item 7N. Discuss and consider setting times, dates, and locations for town hall meetings to discuss various topics. This is an action item, so I'm going to take a motion in a second. We have a motion, please. Motion by Councilwoman Garza, second by Councilman Trevino. Okay, city manager, you have the floor.
Sure, I will, I'll say a couple words. Councilman Leo brought this up, as far as, meeting with the public, and I said, well, maybe it's something the council should consider, so it's on the agenda. I'll let Councilman Leo speak to this and get y'all's thoughts and see.
So I brought this up to, Mr. Reyes here, council, because I think this is gonna be, and we know that other cities, do, town hall meetings, to get that information feedback when it comes down to budget season, when it comes down to things like that, to discuss to the public. And I think this is gonna open up an opportunity in our city to be more transparent in a lot of things. Of course, it'll be up to councils for this and mayor to, work together. Hey, I wanna hold a crime prevention town hall meeting, whatever the case it might be. With this advisory committee as well, there's a perfect example right there. Bring in these folks and get them exposure. But I think it's gonna create more power and more, develop that relationship with the city, with the citizens. I know that, not very many citizens are positive on a lot of things that the city performs. So I think this is an opportunity to bring the city business to the public. So
Very
that's.
I commend you on that. We've had one already, I guess, June of this year. And it was interesting. So I think with that, we've got a motion in a second. If we'll allow the city manager to kind of set that schedule, and he'll get with each of you guys, and we'll start off with a town hall here in the near future. I'd say before the end of October.
Yeah, I'd like, on that note, I'd like to just hear from the council members as to topics. I mean, I have a slew of topics, but if a particular topic grabs your attention, let us know, and we can schedule it can be one or two council members at these meetings. But that's, again, we asked on that end. I hate to schedule folks and then not have council members show up, but it would be something that.
Well, one of the topics that I would want to bring up immediately will be the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce, I think we've discussed this a while back. as far as bringing that organization back to the city. We know that in fact it carries scholarship programs. It carried, I believe, back in the days of the Potato Fest, it carried the pageants and stuff like that, more activities for the community. So, and it'll help us with an economic development as well.
Sure.
So, I think that's one of the main topics that I think I would want to present to the citizens for.
Okay, great. Council, any other input? Well, we'll do that. We'll set some. I think that would be a good thing. I think the citizens would like it. Mr. Vino, we'll be sure that he knows, so you can come, join us.
3 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Might be pushing. But anyway, okay, so we've got a motion and a second. We're gonna turn that over to Fred. He's got some suggestions from you guys, and I'd say before the end of October, we'll schedule one. Great. All right, thank you, council. We need to go ahead and vote on that. There's a motion and a second. All in favor of that? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Okay, this is item 7O, discuss and consider allowing the placement of neighborhood watch sign in different areas of the city. This is an action item. I'll take a motion in a second. A motion, please. A motion by Councilwoman Hernandez. We have a second. Second by Councilwoman Garza. Guys, this is my item. We had a neighborhood watch over on my street, and it was well attended. We had the sheriff and the PD and the SO come. And so we're established. Now we're going to post the sign. And so wanted to get city council's approval to post that on the city sign. And then wanted to encourage you guys maybe to dovetail into the National Night Out. You can encourage some of the folks on your streets to maybe do this. It is proven that in communities where you have these neighborhood watch signs, that the crime does drop. Because everybody knows that we're watching, you know, and that kind of thing. And so anyway, I would. That's what we're going to vote for. We're going to put one on our street, but.
So is it just your street, or we're gonna continue to do that in other neighborhoods?
You can do, tonight's vote is going to allow anybody that's approved as a neighborhood watch, and you can go through the PD's office to get the requirements for that, then you
So
can
it's like
post it
just
on the
start
street
it
sign,
on
yeah.
Valley. Okay.
And I would encourage you, it can be a section of the street, a whole street, a block, just a group of folks that get together and you know, have a meal, fellowship, meet with your neighbor, and kind of talk about things. So it really was good. Daniel was there, gave a great speech. You know, everybody rallied behind him. So that's what we're asking for. So if you got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Now moving on to change of the dates. Discuss and consider changing the date of the October regular city council meeting to Monday, from Tuesday, October 11th to Monday, October 3rd. That's to facilitate the TML conference, I think, going on. So this is a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Leal, second by Councilwoman Hernandez. I think this is a no-brainer. I'm going to go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor of moving it, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. No nays? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, folks, at this time, it is 7:34. We are going into executive session.
So moved. Any motion for that?
No.